Hey everyone, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this one. Let's get into it. I came home from the job site, and Sarah greeted me at the door with the same gentle smile she'd worn since those first few weeks together. The lights were dim, some smooth jazz playing just loud enough to cover the hum of the dishwasher. She grabbed my work bag, hung up my coat, gave me a quick kiss, and slid a plate across the kitchen island like it was part of our daily ceremony. "Sit down," she said. "You look beat." "I'm all right," I told her. "This is better than all right." We ate. She asked about the build, the new guy who couldn't read a tape measure to save his life, the slow leak in my truck's passenger window. She always knew exactly which questions would unwind me. After dinner we crashed on the couch, her bare feet tucked under my thigh while she flipped through streaming options. "You choose tonight," she said. "That's a risky move," I joked. It was the kind of peaceful evening most guys would trade a kidney for. If I'd had any clue what was coming, I would have memorized every second of that quiet. Next morning I rolled into the usual coffee spot. Same barista, same corner table, same black coffee, no cream, no sugar. I was scrolling work emails when a woman I'd never seen before set her cup down right across from me. Early 30s, sharp eyes, zero small talk. "Your wife is sleeping with my husband," she said flat out. I just looked at her. She didn't flinch. "That's one hell of an icebreaker." I finally got out. She pushed her phone toward me. Photos. My front porch. Some guy I didn't know walking up the steps at noon on a Tuesday. Face crystal clear. Another shot through the front window. Same guy inside my living room. That teal throw blanket Sarah loved draped over the couch. My throat went desert dry. "Who are you?" I asked. "Lauren Parker," she said. "He's Ethan. I hired a PI. Report came in last week. My lawyer told me to keep my mouth shut until I was ready to file. But I've watched you walk in here every morning pretending the world's still spinning right side up. I got tired of it. I don't trust strangers dropping bombs like that. Never have." "I don't just take people's word," I said. "Then don't take mine," she answered. "Take the pictures." I zoomed in. Timestamps. Weekdays. Always between 12 and 2. My exact hours on site. Anger rose slow and steady, like pouring concrete. "I'm going home," I said, chair scraping back. Her hand landed on my arm. Not flirty, just firm. "Don't. Not yet. You'll explode and the shrapnel will hurt you worse than the knife. Document everything. Play smart. Set the new rules before you show your cards. You expect me to just swallow this? I expect you to act like a man who doesn't create a mess he'll be scrubbing up for the next year." I sat back down. She was right about one thing: I hate messes. "How long have you known?" "A week. Hired the guy because something felt off. He delivered. I'm filing. My PI's solid. If you want his contact, I'll pass it when you're ready." "You do this often?" "Walk up to random dudes in coffee shops. Only the ones starring in the same nightmare I'm living." We swapped numbers. I told her my name, Jake Carter. She shook my hand like we just closed a business deal and walked out. I was late to the site and worthless once I got there. A tape measure felt like a toy in my hand. By lunch, I'd rearranged my entire week in my head. Driving home that night, I rehearsed a dozen lies, then tossed everyone. "Sarah's too sharp. She hears the shift in a room before you do." She met me at the door with the same smile. "You're late," she said, taking my coat. "Site was a zoo," I told her. "Eat first or shower?" "Talk," I said, leaning against the counter. "How was your day?" She grabbed plates, voice light. "Busy. Groceries, laundry, a yoga class. Nothing exciting." "And noon?" She glanced up. "Noon? Yeah, that slice between morning and afternoon." She laughed. "Easy. Pretty sure I folded towels." I sipped my water. "Thinking of switching the gym to mornings this week. Might swing home for lunch one day." "That's sweet," she said. "I'll make something good." I studied her face. The tiniest hitch before the smile. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I didn't. We ate. We watched a show. She tucked her feet under my leg again. Everything looked normal, but the rhythm had a new hiccup. Next morning I met Lauren again. We pretended it was just coffee. "You holding up?" she asked. "Steady," I said. "And busy. I'm flipping my schedule, no heads up." "Good," she said. "Keep her off balance." "How long you been married?" 8 years. He travels for consulting. Turns out some of those trips never left our zip code. I snorted. "I swing a hammer for a living. We measure twice, cut once. Guess I forgot that rule at home. Don't beat yourself up. I measure people for a living in HR. Still missed it." We swapped timelines, boundaries, war stories. When I left, I stopped at the bank, opened new accounts, left the joint one funded only for bills, and quietly killed every discretionary card. No announcement, just math. At the site, my lead carpenter, Tony, noticed. "You're pacing like a caged bear," he said, spinning his pencil. "Trying new routines." "You hate routines." "I hate wasting time more." At noon, I drove past my own house. No car in the drive. Meant nothing, the photos never showed a car either. I parked around the block anyway, watched 5 minutes. Left. Did that 3 days straight. Nothing obvious. Just the creepy feeling of floorboards about to drop out from under you. That night I came home early, no warning. Sarah was at the stove, hair in a messy bun, music playing. She spun around, surprised. "You're early. Missed you," I said, kissing her cheek. "What's for lunch tomorrow?" She froze half a second. "I could bring you something." "I'll swing by," I said, opening the fridge like it was no big deal. "Around 12:30? She tilted her head. "You never come home midday. Seeing how it feels." She touched my arm. "Jake, if you're stressed, just say it. Don't rearrange your whole life to make some point." "Not proving anything," I said. "Just testing." She pulled back. "Okay. Text me so I can time lunch?" "Thought I'd surprise you." Her smile tightened. "You know I like plans." "I know," I said, trying a new muscle. New rule, quiet, firm, no more detailed daily itineraries. She asked what the next day looked like. I gave her the vague outline. She frowned. "We're a team, Jake. We share. We share the big stuff," I said. "You don't need to know when I take a leak." She laughed because it was absurd. Humor's a hell of a shield. Next morning, Lauren slid a folder across the table. "My lawyer, Harris. No drama, no ego. Walk in, don't call." "That bad?" "It gets uglier before it gets clean. You want the infection gone, or you want to keep rubbing it?" I booked an appointment that afternoon. Harris had a clean office and talked like a man who'd seen every version of this story. "You want the quiet exit," he said after I laid it out. "No fireworks, no public blood." "Exactly. Then you control the money and the information. Document, don't announce. When you're ready, we file and serve. Until then, you act normal enough to keep the frame standing." He handed me a checklist. I took it even though I hate checklists that aren't mine. That night I cooked. Thursday. I never cook on Thursday. Sarah walked in shocked. "You're cooking." "I'm full of surprises lately." She tasted the sauce, nodded. "It's good." High praise. She leaned on the counter. "I'm sorry if I've been short. You've seemed on edge." "Have I?" She shrugged. "I feel it. I want us to be okay." First soft pivot. Hand on my chest, warm kitchen, warm words. Any other week I'd melt. This time I filed it under tactics. "Then we're okay," I said. "I'm easy, honesty and food." She laughed. I made a mental note to change the locks the day this was over. I kept meeting Lauren mornings, then nights too. We cooked at her place, took walks, watched stupid comedies, laughed at real stuff. With her, I didn't brace for impact. One afternoon, I swung home unannounced. Neighbor Mr. Ellis was out front. Retired Marine, knew every car on the block. "Jake," he called. "You're around early. Trying it out. You ever see a white sedan? Out-of-state plates, midday?" He scratched his chin. "Clean-cut guy, button-down shirt even in July? Couple times a Sarah week. Walks up your steps like he owns the place. Figured he was a friend." "That's plenty," I said. "If he shows again, Snap a pic? Already did last time, he said, voice like gravel. Didn't feel right. Inside the house smelled like lemon cleaner. One glass on the counter with a faint ring. Sarah hates rings. I ran my thumb over it and felt nothing warm. At the sight, Tony rolled up. Lunch? Rain check. Need you to ride with me after work. Gotta grab something from the house. He didn't ask why. Real friends don't. We pulled up at 2. I unlocked the door. Air felt used. A men's jacket, not mine, draped over a dining chair. Tony's eyebrows went up. That yours? Nope. I snapped a photo, bagged the jacket, wrote the date on the bag. In the hallway mirror, a dark hair clung to a sweater Sarah never wears midday. Photo. Evidence, not drama. Tony just gripped the wheel on the way back. That jacket. Not mine, I said. He nodded. That's why we're still friends. That night Sarah tried bright and breezy. Too bright. You and Tony good? We're solid. You mad at me? I don't do mad, I said. I do decisions. That sounds heavy. It sounds like me. I'm moving to the guest room for a while. Need better sleep. Because of what? Because I said so. She followed me down the hall. Are you punishing me for something? I don't punish, I said, stripping the spare bed. I clarify. She watched me make the bed. Can we talk? We just did. I'm making your favorite tomorrow, she tried. Make whatever. Food doesn't fix math. Next morning Lauren looked wired. Forget your wife for a second, she said. You're a better man than this story deserves. Clear-headed, solid. Let's do a real date. Not these war room coffees. Tonight, I said before I could overthink it. And I didn't take it back. We picked a steak place neither of us ever went to. No talk of spouses. We talked road trips, dumb habits, the worst money we'd ever wasted. She roasted me for owning a label maker. I roasted her for paying someone to color code her closet. Afterward, I walked her to her car. We sat in my truck, engine off, cab light off. Street dead quiet. That felt normal, she said softly. Not perfect, better. Felt like me again, I said. She touched my arm. Kiss me if you want. Don't if it makes you feel like a fraud. Fraud takes a sermon, I said. I'm done preaching. We kissed. No fireworks, no guilt. Just two steady people finding level ground. When she went inside, I sat another minute, then drove home. Sarah was in the kitchen, clock late. Eyes narrowed. You didn't text. Didn't feel like it. You always text. New rule. You don't get to change rules alone, she snapped. I do when the old ones stopped being mutual a long time ago. What does that even mean? It means I know more than you think. And I'm acting like it. You're being childish. No. I'm protecting my time from a conversation built to waste it. She dialed the tone down fast. I made that pasta you love. I ate, I said and walked to the guest room. I filed with Harris the next morning. He handed me a packet and a timeline. When you're ready to turn the page, you do it clean. One cut, no speeches. At work I told Tony I'd be in and out a few weeks. He just nodded. You don't owe me the story. You owe me staying safe. I'm steady. Then I'm good. That weekend we were supposed to go to her friend Melissa's backyard hangout, craft beer, curated playlist, Melissa acting like she invented socializing. I almost bailed, then decided I needed to draw one line in public. Melissa hugged Sarah forever and me for half a second. Some guy I barely knew tried a joke by the grill. So Jake, finally got that foreman title, huh? Look at you, big shot. It's just a word, I said. Sarah rolled her eyes, playing cute for the crowd. Don't get him started. He'll lecture us all on doing things right. Every head turned. I set my beer down. Run that line again? I asked her, calm. She laughed. Kidding, relax. Don't, I said. Don't make me the punchline to score points with people we barely know. The circle froze. Melissa chirped. More drinks, anyone? I'm good, I said. Then to Sarah, new rule. No public jabs, either direction. You got something to say to me, use plain words. No side eye, no crowd work. She forced a smile. Everyone's so serious tonight. I'm serious, I said. And real calm. Don't test it. We didn't stay long. On the drive home, she folded her arms. You embarrassed me. No, I stopped you from embarrassing me. You made a scene. I set a boundary. If that feels like a scene to you, that's on you. She tried another angle. I booked us a cabin at the lake. Surprise. Thought you'd love it. She waved the confirmation like a white flag. Enjoy the lake, I said. I've got plans. You're not special just because you're acting difficult. I'm not difficult, I said. I'm done pretending. That week I moved tools, heirlooms, and files to a storage unit. Forwarded my mail to a P.O. box. Signed a short-term lease under my company name. Told Harris to let me know the second every paper was ready. I kept answers short and functional with Sarah. Not cruel, just zero extra oxygen. She cycled through pouting, pleading, sweet, sharp. I stayed on script. Mornings with Lauren turned into nights too. We cooked, laughed, kept each other sane. The contrast was brutal. One Tuesday the neighbor tipped his cap as I pulled in. He was here again. Noon sharp. I snapped the plates. Thanks, Mr. Ellis. Inside Sarah ended a call the second she saw me. You're early. Trying new things. I said. Got a minute? Sure. What are you doing with your afternoons these days? She blinked. This an interrogation? Just curious. Errands. Workouts. Naps sometimes. Cool. I said. Then you won't mind me being around more at lunch. She licked her lips. Why? Because it's my house. And because I can. That night Lauren and I ordered Thai and looked at houses 2 hours west. I'm done with this city, she said. Too small for all the noise. Once the papers land we sell, split and go, I said. She pulled up a listing, small house, huge yard, detached shop with big windows. You had me at shop, I said. You had me at quiet, she answered. Friday Harris called. Packets ready. Signed today, served Monday. Lauren texted the same. We met at his office, signed side by side. Harris watched us like a doctor checking pulse. When this train leaves the station, it doesn't stop. We're not flinching, I said. Lauren squeezed my hand once. We drove to our separate houses. Sarah was on the couch, laptop open. You're home early. Packing some things today. Packing for what? Your guest room protest is over. You'll have details on the counter in a minute. Her face cycled through 5 emotions in 2 seconds. You can't just. I can. And I am. This is insane. We should talk like adults. I've been the adult for months. You just didn't like the topic. You're overreacting. If I've done something, you've done plenty. You don't even have proof. I have enough to make my own decisions. I'm not a jury. She switched gears. What will people think? They'll think we grew apart. And they'll be right. I packed clothes, tools, the photo albums that mattered. Left the couch, left the TV. Taped a fat manila envelope to the fridge, her name on the front. Inside, the filed papers and a short note in my handwriting. Papers are filed. Keys on the hook. Don't call. When I carried out the last box, she stood in the hallway, arms locked across her chest. You're making a mistake. No, I said. I'm correcting one. You'll regret this. I don't do regret. I do accountability. I loaded the truck, shut the tailgate, and drove away without looking back. I pulled up to Lauren's. She walked out with her own box, tired smile, real joy in her eyes, and tossed it in the bed. Ready? She asked. For clean air? Yeah. We didn't send blast texts, didn't post anything, just moved into the short-term rental we'd picked together. That night, surrounded by boxes and cold pizza, she leaned into my shoulder. You okay? More than okay, I said. I'm free. Don't get corny on me. Just telling you I'll sleep tonight. The calls started the next day. Sarah, her sister, Melissa. Straight to voicemail. Lauren's phone blew up too. Ethan sending novels of self-pity. She flipped it face down. Papers moved fast when nobody's screaming. Houses sold quicker than we expected because money talks when drama shuts up. One afternoon I swung by the old place for a missed tool and to hand keys to the realtor. Sarah pulled in as I loaded the last box. She stepped out looking perfect the way she always did. People don't get ugly when they cheat. They just lose their shine. You're really doing this? I really did. You won't even talk to me. One conversation. I listened to silence for weeks. That was enough. You don't know what you're throwing away. I'm not throwing, I said. I'm setting it down. Who is she? You lost the right to my details. You get logistics. Did you ever even love me? Enough to walk when the respect ran out. She flinched at the word respect. People are going to talk. They already did. Now they'll stop. You're cruel. No. I'm clear. I handed the realtor the spare key and looked Sarah dead in the eye. Next time you want 2 lives, don't build the second one in someone else's house. I climbed in the truck and left. We closed fast. Money split clean. Phones kept ringing, we kept ignoring. We bought the little place 2 hours west. Decent house, big yard, shop with perfect light. First morning there I made coffee in a quiet kitchen and stared at grass that needed cutting. Pure peace. Lauren patted in, hair messy, and smiled. You're grinning like a man with a plan. I'm grinning like a man who isn't lying to himself about a single thing. We filled our days simple and full. I took jobs with a crew that didn't know my old story. Lauren went remote and started running the back roads. We met neighbors the grown-up way, fixing a fence, burgers with a couple from the lumber yard. We strung lights across our new backyard and had people over for easy nights. No speeches, just cold beer and old jokes. Sometimes over coffee we'd mention the storm in passing. Think they're happy? Lauren asked once. I think they're busy explaining themselves to anyone who'll listen, I said. That's not happy. A year later Tony drove out to see the shop and drink beer under the lights I hung. He looked around, took a long pull from the bottle, and nodded. You landed, brother. I built the runway first. He smirked. Always did like lumber better than lectures. Lauren brought out grilled chicken. Tony raised an eyebrow. So this is the legend. She rolled her eyes. Don't put that on me. She keeps me from getting corny, I said. Good, Tony told her. Keep him honest. Not my job, she laughed. He does that all by himself. Later, when the sun was dropping, I glanced at my phone out of habit. No ghosts, just a bid reminder and a text from old Mr. Ellis. Hope you're well. Street's quieter now. I wrote back, I am. Thanks for watching the block. Sometimes life doesn't need a sermon. It needs a line in the sand, a door closed, and a man willing to keep walking. People will call it cold. I call it clear. I left the keys on the hook, and I took my self-respect with me. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you've ever had to draw that line. Comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one.